Uh, these are the topics for human resource management. We have introduction slides. I didn't summarize the introduction because it's only general concepts about the human resource management and it's important and so on and so on. We have job analysis and design, recruitment, training, performance appraisal, human resource planning, career management, and the assignment topics that I summarize it till now: the expatriate, psychological contract, diversity management, workplace romance, outsourcing, green human resource, class ceiling, employee branding, and global staffing. I think there's another topics. I don't know. I didn't checked it very well because I do it after
I think these are
midnight.
the most important, yeah. Workplace romance, class. Yeah, I think
Uh,
these are the most important topics. We can check in the group later on.
okay. So regarding job analysis and design, the first one here, job analysis. So the job analysis is a systematic process determining the skills, duties, knowledge that needed to perform the job inside the organization. So you analyze the position and what is needed from the duties, responsibilities. Purpose of job analysis to determine what physical and mental abilities that needed to perform the task, when to perform it, where to perform it, how, why, and what the qualification needed. So you analyze the job from all its dimension,
Mhm.
when to do it, when will you do job analysis, when there's a new establishment for the organization, new jobs created inside the organization, when we face a dramatic change in jobs, we need to do job analysis. What it's used for, it's used for job description and job specification. The job analysis used for job description and job specification. Job description is related to job itself. The component of job description: essential task, duties and responsibilities, working condition of the job, what employees are expected to do in the job, how they do it, the tools they needed, the environment they work in, on so on so on. Condition under these duties are performed. What the condition? So it's related to the job itself and the place where you are supposed to do the job.
Mhm.
Uh, Knowledge of job description. After you do a job description, you need to make some forms or something like that with the title of the job, the code of the job, summary about the job, the duties and responsibilities of the job, relation with other jobs or other positions, and the working condition related to the job. So in job description, you are talking about the job itself.
Mhm.
But in job specification, you are
The-
talking about the qualification, the educational attainment of the one who's supposed to carry the job. Main acceptable qualification of the person. High set of qualification, you need to make sure that you didn't set high standard of qualification. Because if you put it in high standard qualification, you can fail into the compensation cost increase and
Mhm.
hard to fill the vacancy. This is about job specification. Who do the job analysis and design? Human resource management department or external job analyst, in which he work with coordination and he unbiased, friendly, and have the necessary intellectual qualification. Or you can go for a consultant to do this job. So we are talking about individual job analyst. Here are talking about company as a consultant. The
Mhm.
method,
External.
yes, the method used for job analysis: the interview, whether it's individual interview or supervisor interview or group interview, or questions. What is the job? The questionnaire. What is the job? Major duties, physical, and so on. So you can use observation. Here you ask a question to it's during the interview. What type of the question you ask during the interview? Here you are relying on observation, how the worker accomplished the work, how the equipment they used, the working environment, and other factor. You observe it and you register it. Or you can use a questionnaire with different section related to the job itself. Purpose and instruction. You put in the questionnaire the employee data in regarding name, title, code, and so on, telephone number. You ask about general purpose of the position, specific job responsibility, and so skills, how many positions reported directly to you, and every aspect of the job. So this is about job analysis. Regarding job design, the definition of job design, it's the specification of content, method, and relation in order to satisfy. Specification of content, method, and relationship in order to satisfy the needs of the employees and the job. Purpose, create motivations at the workplace. The famous job design model is the job characteristic model. We talked about it yesterday. Regarding skill variety, task identity, task significant, autonomy, feedback, and the existence of these characteristics and its how it related to the outcome. A job design technique.
I always confuse between the three of the, especially enlargement and enrichment.
Enrichment, rich, to become rich. What does it mean?
Enrichment, enlargement, like
more task with the
more
same
task
level.
on the same level.
Yes.
Enrichment from other areas.
You go for other levels. You might higher levels than your level.
Higher levels.
Yes.
Rotation is you go around taking like tasks from different areas and departments, right?
Yes.
Okay. So enrichment, it's a hierarchy. Like you go and take higher.
Enrichment go to the top level.
Yeah.
Enlargement, it's like vertical. Enrichment related to the vertical. Horizontal enlargement.
Enlargement.
So enlargement, expand job duties, increasing the number of tasks from the same level of responsibility. Job enrichment, basic change in the content and level of responsibility. Vertical expansions of responsibility. The vertical, upward vertical expansion. Of course, not inward. Job rotation exposes employees to different experience, wider variety of skill, which resulted in job satisfaction and the cross training. So you make the employees capable of doing other job. Flexible work schedule, compressed work week, like compressed work week, part-time working, job sharing, telecommuting, connecting through fax and computer. So you can design the job based on these 5 principles or 5 components: simplification, enlargement, enrichment, job rotation, and the flexible work schedule. These are for job analysis and job design. In the job analysis and design, the main important thing is the job specification and job characteristics and so on and so on. Okay. For job analysis and design, you need to, do you have any addition besides that?
No, it's all good.
Regarding recruitment, after you analyze and design the job, you need to recruit people on this job. So the definition of recruitment is the process of attracting individual in a timely basis and sufficient number with appropriate qualification to apply for job inside the organizations. The factor affecting recruitment, organizational factor and environmental factor. The organizational factor is related to the size of the organization, the human resource policy, the human resource planning, and other factors. Human resource policy, like promotions and compensation, will affect the recruitment process. For the size of the organization, whether it's big, it will attract more candidates. If it's small, it will attract smaller pool of candidates. And the attractiveness of the human resource policies inside the organization, the planning inside the organization for the human resource, and other related factors to the organization. Regarding environmental factors, the economical condition and legal regulations will affect the ability of the organization to attract candidates for the or to do recruitment. If the economic condition is thrive and it's good economical condition in the environment, so the employment rate will be less, and the possibility of attracting a new candidate will be lowered. Types of recruitment, we have internal and external. Internal by scanning employees database and post the job internally. Also the internal, sometimes the employees are being asked to give referrals from their area or from their school or work or something like that, or relative or something like that, and they give bonuses for good referrals. Promotion, like seniority based, success based, mixed promotion. You promote other to do the job inside the organization based on seniority or based on success in doing the task. You promote them to higher positions, or you do mixed between seniority and success. The advantage of internal recruitment method: you advance the career of the employee, you ensure the staff are retained, ensure their retention inside the organization. You don't need induction and the training for the task, long induction and the training process. You have short induction and the training process, quicker and less expensive, used as a training method. The disadvantage: you have limited numbers because you limited yourself with the employee inside the organization. You might have that the external candidates is better than the internal employees, so you will forbid yourself from attracting good, highly qualified external candidates. When you promote someone to higher position, then the previous position will be vacant and you need to do the recruitment again. Resistance to change outside comes with a fresh new idea. Here's when you do internal, so if you want to do change, the employees inside the organization will resist the change more often, but outsider came with a new idea, so they are more agreed with the change if it's occurred. This are the regarding the internal, how it can you can do it, advantage and disadvantage. The external recruitment methods: you do job ads, either it's open for everything or blind, dedicated for certain areas or certain channels, advertising, outside bring a new advantage, sorry, outsiders bring new ideas, long pool, wider experience. And the disadvantage: longer process, it's become expensive, turnover problem, because the people came from outside might have low loyalty for the organization. If they had another external job, it will be a more attractive external job, they will leave the organization and go for it. So these are the regarding the recruitment.
Okay.
Its definition: what's the factor affecting it, internal and external. Very straightforward and simple one. Regarding the training: give employees a skill to better perform their job. Development: all learning experience, upgrading skills and knowledge that the employees acquire during their lifetime. It will contribute in developing the employees. Process of training: objective of training, job specification, qualification of employees, evaluating of training. So you set objective, you need to have which job specifications that need to be trained, qualification of the employees, and then evaluate the training. Type, whether it's on job or off job. Clear? Just short.
Also.
Performance appraisal. It's a symmetric process of planning, work, and setting expectation, continuously monitoring performance, developing the capacity to perform, periodically rating performance. So it's a systematic process of planning, monitoring, developing the capacity, and rating the performance. Why? To manage performance, because you want to ensure that organization will reach its goal. What do employee expect from performance appraisal process? They expect to have a clear expectation about the output of the performance appraisal process, to have at the end of the performance appraisal process a constructive feedback, to involve in goal setting for the organization in order to perform accordingly, to be treated fairly during the PA process, and to share information and resource. And according to the result, they expect job enrichment opportunities. The process of performance appraisal. Performance accessories. First of all, you need to identify the accessories of the jobs. If you're working, as example, as a worker or something like that, who's your accessories that need to evaluate you? Whether you need to self-evaluate your work, or you will be evaluated through your co-workers, or through your supervisor, or through customers, whether it's internal or external customers. So who's going to evaluate you or your position? Performance appraisal criteria. After you set who's going to evaluate the position, you need to set clear criteria about that will be evaluated. Then you need to analyze, and then you need based on the data collected, the criteria you and the analysis you are doing, you will select the best method to do the performance appraisal. And the method, we have 360-degree method, competency-based performance, or performance appraisal by objectives. The 360-degree appraisal is assessment process used to improve managerial effectiveness by providing the manager with a more complete assessment of their effectiveness and their performance and development needs. I think based on this definition, they use this method for managerial levels only, not for all the positions inside the organization. What do you think about it? And the definition of the 360-degree, it's only dedicated for managers position or managerial.
I think everyone, because 360 is a holistic process, performance appraisal, so it includes everyone, not only managers.
Yes, this is my opinion, but according to the definition of the 360-degree, with more complete assessment of their effectiveness, give the managers more complete assessment of their effectiveness and their performance in the development need. Maybe we need to remove managers and put employee in general.
Yeah, everyone. I think everyone.
The advantage, it's detailed feedback, honest and equity, what's hidden about the job and the performance regarding this job might go light because you investigating different aspects or different sides of the job, and it reduces bias because of too many evaluators or appraisal for the jobs. The disadvantage, it's increased number of accessories will make it long process and complex. assessors must give unfair feedback. It take long time because too many criteria or too many assessors you need to investigate their appraisal, and you need to design different form based on evaluator relatedness to the work. So the increased number of assessors, its complexity might give unfair feedback, might take long time, and different forms. This for 360 degree. Competency-based performance, what accomplished and how, more qualitative long run, used for employee development and career planning. So you need to set the competencies which related to individual or related to the job itself. And you evaluate the worker or the employee based on these competencies. You evaluate the individual based on his analytical thinking, creativity, interesting with investigation, doing responsibility in extraordinary working condition, stability, his stability, his flexibility, his sociability, his attitude toward works, his ability to present, his ability in written or oral and written abilities. So you assess these competencies in individual. And you assess another factors which related to the job, professional knowledge and experience level of his job, equality-based working, to what extent he provide quality work, how he deal with customers and the customer opinions about him, organizing job activity, how his ability of organizing his jobs or activities of the job, in diagnosis of problem, in reporting, in how he used technology. These are the competencies which related to the job, and these are the competencies which related to individual abilities. Also, you manage or you measure the managerial competencies. The managerial competencies in individual, like decision making, empowerment, guiding and development, creating solution, and innovation. So performance competencies based, you measure the competencies of individual, of jobs related competencies, and managerial related competencies. Here's the definition of competencies. This is for the second method. You need to add something about it.
Yeah. And then performance appraisal by objectives.
Performance appraisal by objectives is setting effective goals. Goal setting based on employee skills and capabilities, ensure employee motivation, developing the employee's knowledge and experience. So if you follow the performance appraisal by objective, you need to set objectives for the employees, and these objectives must match the employee's skills and capabilities, and objectives need to ensure that the employees will be motivated to do or to reach this objective, and to develop employees' knowledge and experience. You need first to discuss these goals and objectives with the employees and develop employee knowledge and experience. The goals must be follow the SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bounded. Type of objective, you have routine objectives, it's a regular basis task. Innovative objectives was related to change and innovation and creating a new process and the new products. And you need to be aware of the wrong objectives, setting the wrong objectives, like setting very high standard objectives or objectives loaded with too many aspects. Longer or shorter terms, you need to be aware of the longer and shorter terms, and you do not want to set objectives that take long time or something like that, or the objectives that do not consider the current condition, whether for the employees or the organization. So these are the wrong doing of setting objective. You need to be aware of it in this performance appraisal by objectives. So after setting the method, and we have 3 methods we discussed here, you need to have a feedback mechanism that tells the employees the result of the performance appraisal and how they can improve their deficiencies based on the performance appraisal. The biases of performance appraisal, we had horn effect, excessive stiffness or leanness, central tendency, spillover, recency effect. The horn effect, when you appraise based on negative feature perceived. So you have negative features about the employees, about one employee, you appraise him based on this only, you know, this negative features about him. Excessive stiffness or leanness, depending on the assessor's own standard at the time of appraisal. So at the time of the appraisal, we might have higher standard, low standards. So based on that, he assesses the employees accordingly. The central tendency here is the appraisal. He wants to make everybody satisfied, so he rate all as average without having too many difference between the different workers or different employees. Spillover effect, he assess performance based on the past performance. So as the employee might all the year doing bad, didn't do his job or lazy in his job, at the end and the last month he know the appraisal is coming, so he changed his attitude. Recency influenced by most recent behavior. This spillover, sorry, for the past, performance, the most recent is the recency effect. So they are opposite, spillover and recency effect. Okay, these are the biases in performance appraisal: horn effect, excessive stiffness or leanness, central tendency, spillover, recency effect. Okay. The human resource, let's go for career management, and because the human resource planning is a little bit long one. Career, the old job assumed by the person throughout his or her life. Career phases, we have 5 phases. The first phase, when you are from school to business, you finish your school and you go to or university or go to business. In this phase, you are learning from your father or the family members or internship experience that you got from here or there. So this is the beginning of your business world. Phase 2, you are start working. You will support your knowledge through your supervisor. Support by experience and top managers, and you gain experience from your supervisor and your top managers. Phase 3, you reach individual self. You understand responsibility and it's important to firm. In phase 3, you are more emphasis on need for security and prestige and comfortable life. In phase 4, it is advanced degree of growth, progress, and stable life. Mature and experienced person role. So we are becoming more advanced in your business career, and you're looking for a growth and progress and stable life in this phase. In phase 4, retirement. Retirement. Low motivation. In this phase, the last phase of your career life, you're looking for retirement and you have low motivation. Class, yesterday you say something about the naming of the different phases in the career planning.
Those are the generations.
No, no, not, before that, or plateau or something like that.
Yes, the plateau stage. It's called as it's known as plateau stage in career.
Mhm.
Um, it's when you reach a level that you have achieved everything, and now you reach a level that there is nothing more to achieve. So you feel stuck, and you start becoming discontent or or not motivated.
Not
Something.
motivated. So it's similar to phase 5 or between phase 4 or phase 5. It is another
Yeah,
scale of career phases or something like that.
it's not another phase, but it's more of a stage. Wait,
Mhm.
it's like what do they call it? Not a graph.
Curve,
It's like a
career
curve,
curve,
yes.
career curve.
Yeah.
So in the career curve,
It is somewhere in the it's mentioned here in the slides.
I didn't found it inside the slide actually.
It's not mentioned?
No,
Hmm.
career curve has accelerated growth, slowing growth, flat growth. Plateau.
So this is the definition. Job content plateau occurs when employees are no longer challenged by their work or job responsibility. So they start having no feelings valued or no values for the organization. Um, because the work has become boring and it's like a routine.
Mhm. So the other classification along the curve, you are talking about the last one, maybe, but the starting, the middle stage, and
In which stage it is, I'm not really sure, but it should be somewhere after the fourth stage, before retirement, I think.
so we are talking about the plateau stage. What about the others? What they call it, or what's the name of it, or something?
I don't know. She always asks, even in the during the lectures, or maybe in she also asked during the oral exam. She asked, for example, Ekin, what is the plateau stage in career?
Mhm.
So it's she only asked about this. I even remember during the lectures she used to ask about this.
Need to know what other stage is called, or the name of other stages, or because the staging of the career based on this classification from phase 1 to phase 5, but there's no name for each phase, just phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. If they name the phase 5 as plateau phase or plateau stage, the other what they call it.
But there is also a model by look, I have a problem with names. Someone who was he came up with a model and it was talking about the midlife crisis and so on. Where is it? In which sometimes I confuse between OB and HR and training, planning, career. Yes, the model of Daniel Levinson. It represents the stages in a person's development during adulthood. So he also mentioned 5 levels: leaving family, then early admission to adulthood, transmission period, settlement period, then middle age crisis, and then a renewal period. This is also mentioned in the, I think you're going to talk about it now. It's also there in the slides, the model of Daniel.
Mhm. I open the slide for Human resource planning, performance. Here the slide for career. I can share it with you. This is the slide for career management and career planning. And here's the definition, the phases, the model of Daniel Levinson.
Okay, this.
Leaving from family, temporary admission to adult world, transmission period, settlement period, potential middle age, crisis, renewal period. It is a process through which employees become aware of their own interests, values, strengths, and weakness. Okay. Just one slide about it. Just
Yeah.
the
So I
classification.
think plateau. So I think plateau. It's somewhere when in the middle age.
Middle age crisis.
I think that's how I connected it.
Okay. Career management is the process. We are on stages of career management. Who will be career planning? Who's responsible for career planning? Individual, organization.
Can you
This
go?
one. This one.
This one, yes.
Personal career graph.
So it's called the physiological aging process.
Psychophysiological aging process. And
So it
career
starts by
development.
exploring and searching, then installation, and then development, plateau, and then regression.
This one. Then organization, career planning, and so on. Oh, okay. Model, psychological aging process and career development. So when you reach after the installation, you either go to for plateau or for development or for regression. So these are the phases and the model. Okay, for career management, you need to be aware of their own interest, value, strength, and weakness. You have to know information about job opportunities, and you set your career goals and achieve goals through setting a plan for achieving goal. These are the process maybe for the career management, aware of your strength and weakness, have proper information about the job opportunities, whether inside the organization or outside the organization. You set your career goals and you set a plan for achieving these goals. What you are going to become in the next few 4 years or something like that. Who's responsible for career planning? Individual career plannings, factors for individual career planning, whether internal factor and external factor. The internal factor that affect the individual career planning is his personality, his degree of motivations, his area of interest. It will affect the career planning for individual, or the external factors that have effects with the family, the educational level, and the social environment and the economic conditions of the individual affect his career planning perspective. Organization career planning. So we have individual, and we have internal and external effect on the individual career planning. We have organizational career planning. It's an important aspect in human resource planning. Employees' career need, expectation, and aspiration compared with organization goals and objectives. So you have from one side the employees' aspiration, expectation, and the other side you have organizational goals and objective, and you need to match between. You need to have a plan that match between the two during your human resource planning. The career planning process you need to include employees. You need to have a career counselors or consultant, maybe this. Combine individual career with organizational goal and draw career path, doing job analysis, job families, and career path among job families. So inside the organization, you do the job analysis for all the jobs inside the organization, and then you group these jobs inside families, and you set a career path, whether the employees might go from this family of jobs or tasks to other families of job or tasks, and to apply and follow up the result of the career planning after it's implemented. The career development, its benefit, organized planning process to match the business goals with employees' career goals, help employees do job efficiently, seek another jobs in the future, help them to seek another job in the future, and move up in the company. The method for career planning: announcing the job posting in the company, do formal training, prepare a program for retirement, career booklets and the brochure, monitoring, career workshop, assessment, do assessment center. So you have either individual or organizational career planning, and the individual is affected by internal and external factors. Organization career planning related to human resource planning, and to match between employees' characteristics, skills, aspiration, expectation, and organizational goal. And we have 5 steps in the career planning process. You need to include employees, to have a counselor, to combine individual career with goals, draw career path, and apply the plan and follow up the plan. We have benefits and methods for career development. Any addition from your side?
No, that's all.
So here's the model: exploring and searching, installation, plateau, regression, or development.
So after installation, it's either maybe now it's like from here you decide it's either you continue developing in your career, or you go for the plateau, which is, getting bored of the routine work and being stuck.
What about the regression? Because
regression is going down, I think, declining in the career.
But the characteristic of the plateau, it's also going down. So you are frustrated and you have no motivation. If you have this characteristic,
maybe it's a period. Maybe it's a period in time, the plateau, where you are stuck on the same level, because the work has become like, very routine. But regression, maybe it's going down and until you lose your job or something. We have to look into this model more. The other stages.
Because it's not, it's just present the graph with no explanation about the graph.
Yeah.
Personal career graph. You can search about it. No. Can't find anything. Okay, we can search for it later, but so you just need to know the phases: exploring, installation. You install yourself, and after you explore, you find something and you put yourself on it and you try to move on. And after that, you continue developing your career or your skills or whatever. or you stuck in the middle with little motivation or no motivation, frustration or something like that, or you go down with regression. Okay, this is for career management. Human resource planning. The definition of a human resource planning, the process of analyzing and identifying the need for and the availability of a human resource so that the organization can meet its objective. So about analyzing and the needs and the availability of a human resource. So what the organization need and how it can fulfill these needs. Analyzing, identifying needs for a human, availability, and meeting objectives. These are the main components of a human resource planning. Discover the core competencies required by the organization to achieve its goal. Why or the reasons for a human resource planning? It facilitates top management decision-making process regarding strategic goals and objectives. It guides the training and development process for the employee inside the organization. Guide the recruiting and selecting of new employees based on the plan. Projection about the cost inside the organization. So if you are planning for the coming 5 years, so you know the cost of a human resource for the next 5 years, and how to help you to cope with technology and innovation in the environment. So facilitate decision making, guide training, selecting and recruitment, cost, and technological innovation. Why our benefit of human resource planning? Help enforcing policies and the program, communicate goal and the strategies with the human resource. So it's about connecting the overall goals and objectives and strategic direction of the organization with the human resource inside the organization, improve employee relationship and higher productivity, higher quality product and service. If you do a good plan and acquire the good employees on time, so you improve the quality of your product and service. Security and stability for the organization, lower turnover among organization employees, improve competitiveness of the organization, and it's a chance for survivability. These are the benefit of organization of human resource planning, HRP. A component of HRP, requirement forecast and availability forecast. So you need to forecast your requirement, and you need after that to forecast the availability of this requirement within the environment you are working in. Requirement forecast, you need to forecast the number of employees, the skills, the location you need the employees, and the date in which you need the new employees or workers. After you determine your needs, you need to forecast whether these needs are available, whether it's from internal source you can acquire these needs or satisfy this need, or you need to go externally. Ability of the organization to secure the required employees. Responsibility of human resource planning. The responsibility goes to for top managers or for a human resource department or for line manager. The steps of a human resource planning. You first of all set the company vision and mission, what is going to be achieved within the next 20 years from the company. You need to be clear about that. It's about the dream of the company. And the mission, it's derived from the vision, who we are, who our customer, what do we do, how we do it, our values, aspiration, reason for being, reason for existence. This is the sample. And the human resource, then you set the human resource mission statement that you need to satisfy the needs of the company with the qualified individual and retain the valuable employees, training them, inspire them, and so on. So you set the human resource mission based in accordance with the organization vision and mission. And here's some sample. Then you start with the firm strategy, know firm goals and objectives through careful strategy review. After you know the strategy of the organization, you need to set goals and objectives through careful strategy review, collecting, analyzing the data related to labor force internally and externally. Determine the labor demand and supply. And here you have three. After you determine the labor, whether the supply is more than the demand, or the supply equal the demand, or the supply is less than the demand. When the supply is greater than the demand, you have work surplus, so you need to follow the following strategies. You have excessive number of employees inside more than what you need, so you need to go for restricted hiring, reduce working hour, or you reduce the payment, or transfer some employees to other locations or other businesses, or you do early retirement packages, or you make a downsizing inside the organization. These are the strategies if during your plan you find the supply is greater than the demand. Supply is equal to demand, you don't do anything. If supply is less than the demand, so your demand is more than the market can offer, so you need to go for a creative recruitment, compensation incentive for the current employees or for the others from external to attract them to go for to apply for the company jobs. You need to go for training programs for your employees in order to improve their skills and capabilities and give them more work to do. Or you can go for automation and digitization. This is the strategies in case your supply is less than the demand. Replacement plan, you need to have identify the pool of candidates that can be nominated to fill available positions inside the organization. Manage those candidates through training and development program to be ready for the day to come. So it's like succession planning. You know that these kind of employees and person will go up for higher position, so you prepare them for the day to come. Personal requirement, real personal requirement, substitute personal requirement, new personal requirement. What the difference between the demand and supply for personnel here?
Substitute is like the replacement plan.
Real personal requirement, the real number of person you need inside the organization.
The people who are currently working, what are the requirements? The substitute, if you have like someone leaves and you need a substitute, then what are the requirements? And the new people that you're going to hire.
If you have a new jobs inside the organization, you need a new personnel. If someone is leaving, so you need to have a substitute. The real person
and your existing
requirement. Yes. Employees turnover. This is the equation of turnover rate. So you need to decide the employees leaving the organization, the number, and you divide them by the average of the employee at the beginning and the employee at the end. So the higher turnover rate means that organization fail to retain the employees inside the organization. During the human resource planning, so first we start with the firm strategy, know firm goals and objectives, collect, analyze data related to labor, determine the labor demand and supply, and different cases that you might face. And then do you need to adapt to the available budget? After you do this process, you need to adapt the available budget, you need to have approval from the top management, and then you need to, after you get the approval, you apply the plan and you monitor and evaluate the process of the plan. So during the human resource planning, you use forecasting technique to forecast the number of employees you need inside the organization. So you go for bottom-up approach, the Delphi technique, and the statistical method. Bottom-up approach, when you need
Start from the lower level,
start from the lower level, yes.
moving to the higher levels.
Delphi technique.
Delphi technique, it's basically when there is a facilitator and they spread or distribute surveys to different managers, and then they gather all their responses and they make a summary of all the responses. Then they give it back again to the same people who joined the survey, so that they get the chance to make some reviews, changes
review their answers based on the experience, based
so
on the
they
expert.
all come up with a consensus, and yeah, one evaluation.
But the Delphi technique, I think it used in different aspect rather than besides investigating the number of the employees needed in the future. Delphi technique using problem solving or the decision making, also the same procedure. And here they use it for expecting or predicting the number of the employees in the future. The statistical method is very straightforward. You need to, as example, you need to improve your sales by 25%. So you need more salesperson in order to do that. You can plot a graph, the sales and the number of salesperson, and based on the graph, you can expect the additional salesperson you need. So you use a statistical method. Negatives for human resource planning, HRP, employee may resist the change. Social and economic forecasts could not be give the predicted result. So you forecast the employees' numbers based on the economical and social aspect, and that might give you not a good result. Lack of reliable information system. If there's an absence for a good and reliable information system, you might come up with bad HRP. You might have financial restriction inside the organization. Centralist and bureaucratic regime might hinder the implementation of HRP. So these are all the aspects regarding the HRP. Any addition from your side?
Yeah, I think that's enough. What's in the slides are already enough. I really don't know what they're gonna ask in HR. I haven't heard anyone who got a question from HR during the written exam. I don't know. But as you said, Bahja, she was mentioning that.
Yes, you need to study HRM. Maybe will be the first to be asked about HRM. So the assignment, we have expatriate, psychological contract, diversity management, workplace romance, outsourcing, green human resource management, glass ceiling syndrome, employee branding, and global staffing. Expatriate, it's about sending someone outside to another country for international assignment. Benefit, you ensure better performance. The person who sent outside will operate internationally. Competitive advantage in a global market. So when you send experts for host country, you expect that the competitive advantage, yes, will improve. The function of expatriate, facilitate operation of foreign subsidiaries, establish a new international market, spreading and sustaining corporate culture, transferring technology from HQ to the subsidiary, The pros and cons of expatriate. The advantage, he control over subsidiaries. When you send someone from HQ, you have control over subsidiaries. You share common cultures and educational background with the subsidiaries. You facilitate communication and coordination with HQ. And disadvantage, lack of knowledge regarding country economic and cultures. The one who came to a subsidiary might have low knowledge about the country culture or the country economics. Very expensive to send and locate expert family. Legal restriction might be imposed during this journey. The adjustment of expatriate, for how much the degree of person psychological comfort when that he transferred to work in a new environment. He need to adjust himself, and adjustment is related to performance. If he adjusts himself well, the performance will increase, and vice versa. He must accommodate a behavior to fit with the new culture. He must have the behavior agility to accommodate with the new culture. Overcoming cultural barriers. The dimensional view of expatriate adjustment, work adjustment, interactional adjustment, or general living adjustment. These are the dimensions for expatriate adjustment. And the big five middle: extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, expatriate, neuroticism, openness, can be used to measure the degree of
Impact.
yes, the degree
Adjustment.
whether if he has extraversion, he is more willing to speak, tend to socialize, friendly, is agreeableness to another culture, another if it's high, he will be more adjusted. Conscientiousness, also expatriate, neuroticism, openness. If he's good with the five models of personality, he will be more
effective.
effective.
The performance will be
Yes, well,
higher.
performance will be higher.
It will be easier for them to adjust.
Yes,
to the new culture, the new.
His adaptation with the new culture will be more easier. For the expatriate. For the psychological contract, the definition of the psychological contract is the sum of all expectation between the employees and the organization. System of unwritten expectation, some member of organization, another member of organization, or it's unwritten agreement between employers and employees. So it's not written, it's what the employee expects from the organization and what the organization expects from the employees. So the expectation, employees expect work, effort, employers expect work, effort, and good result. Flexibility of the employee on the environment of the employer, loyalty for the employer, and commitment for the organizational goal or employer goal. And the employee expect pay on time, care, recognition, additional incentive, promotion, job security. These are the expectation. Factors affecting contract information: overstatement. If you work hard, you will receive reward. Observation of the employee, the way the organization deal with its employee in different situations. So if the employee are dealt well inside the organization and the employee observe this treatment, he might affect the psychological contract formation between the employee and the organization. Expression of organizational policy and social construction, the way the people promoted, though if it's fair, so the psychological contract formation will be in good way. Here's the type, I think, of the psychological contract. Transactional contract, relational contract. Transactional contract based on I give you something, you give me something in return. Relational contracts based on the relationship between the employee and the organization. the contract between the employee and the organization might be short term and very specific job. So the psychological contract will not include it in this relation, like hire someone to clean the window. So you don't expect that there's a psychological contract will be involved in this job or in this task. You might have long-term contract with the employee and with a specified set of tasks. So you will need to be high motivated employees, commitment level are high integration, continual growth, support and help is mutual, and dynamic nature. This when in time of you have long-term specified contract. And if you have short-term with not very specified task, staff reduction, merger unclarity and uncertainty. Actually, I didn't understand it well here. So if you have long-term specified, you will formulate a psychological contract, but short-term not specified. Do you have an idea about it?
No, what I have studied about psychological contract, everything that you have mentioned, but not these ones, like the types. I didn't study them. I just got it like a general idea about what is a psychological contract, who are these expectations, who does it involve. That's it.
A breach of the psychological contract might be also.
Yeah, if there is a breach, then there will be like resistance, for example. People will be trying to resist.
Or they will behave differently.
Or yes.
Yes. Revoked to the organization. Okay, this is for the psychological the contract, the unwritten expectation from the employee and the employer. Diversity management. Diversity management refers to the organization actions that aim to promote greater inclusion of employees from different backgrounds into an organizational structure through specific policies and the program, and it responds to the growing diversity of the workforce around the world. Diversity management, how you manage different ethnic group inside the organization and different and people came from different background and something on culture, how you can manage it and include the inclusion process of these employees inside the organization. Workplace romance, mutually desired relationship involving sexual attraction between two employees of the same organization. Some organizations have rules against this type of things. What motivates for romance in workplace? Love motive, ego motive, or job-related motive. Types happen between peers or hierarchical or involving married employees. Sometimes, existing of policies regarding this phenomenon or this action. Some organizations have policies for that. Some organizations do not have policies for that. I didn't complete the summary. Consequences, it's related to productivity, moral, intergroup conflict, and sexual harassment. These are the consequences of workplace romance. Outsourcing, concentrate on more strategic issues. A contractual agreement between an employer and an external third party provide verify the employer transfer responsibility and management of certain human resource benefits or training related function or service to the external provider. Relying on external provider in doing some jobs or tasks of HR functions. A reason for outsourcing, might you have organizational driven reason, improvement driven reason, financially driven reason, revenue driven reason, cost driven reason, employee driven reason. So these are the reasons for outsourcing.
it gives the manager HR managers the yeah, more time to focus on more important things.
In the strategic thing and give the
Yeah,
routine.
so they delegate this to an outside a third party.
Yes, routine operation for outside party.
Mm.
You might outsource payroll administration, employee benefits, insurance, and something like that, or some human resource management and risk management. You might delegate it to outside party. Professional employer organization. Uh, you might also use some professional employer organization like software as a service, business process outsourcing, single source outsourcing, shared service and shared service center, professional employer organization. These are the outside companies that might take some of your HR function and do it by itself. A process of outsourcing, you explore strategies implication, explore the implication of the outsourcing and your strategy, analyze cost and performance. Is the cost high or low and its effect on performance? Select the provider, negotiate the terms of contract, transitioning resources, you transition resource to the outsource party, managing relationship between you and the external company. The advantage and disadvantage of outsourcing. Human resource outsourcing firms help business minimize risk. Outsourcing help reduce the cost of keeping non-revenue generating back office expenses. Create greater efficiency. Business managers, employee performance and development. Department operational smoothly. Create greater efficiency. Business managers, employee performance and development. Business managers, employee performance and development. Department operating smoothly. Disadvantage, decrease cost, sense of distance, lack of decreased cost lead to decreasing inequality. There's a sense of distance between the employees and the organization when some of their part of their issues are managed externally. The external provider might have lack of understanding of the organizational cultures or employees issues or something like that, may release sensitive company information. Some of your information may leaked outside the organization. These are the advantage and disadvantage of the outsourcing. Green human resource management, the alignment between human resource management process and environment. It imposes a green environment principle in all human resource processes, the alignment between the human resource process and the environment. So you need to impose and take care of the environment in your all related human resource processes like planning, recruitment and selection, training and development, and induction. How he can do it is not clear. I didn't find it in the slides. He just
For example, recruitment and yeah, I'm sorry. During recruitment and selection, so instead, for example, of having like candidates send their CVs using paper-based CVs, maybe they can turn into they can convert to electronic based. So this way they're reducing the consumption of paper-based papers, yeah,
I
essentially.
know.
So
this is the easiest,
this is
but
one way.
in planning a process, in the training and development, in induction, this is one way during the recruitment and selection. But about the green, maybe you need to spread the green culture inside your organization. So if the employees, your employees is interacting with the society and the environment, they interact in a green way. So maybe it's related to your image inside the society more than practical implication, you know. The benefit of green human resource management, you have more competitive advantage than other. You improve your public image. You create inside the organization an eco-friendly culture. The employees inside the organization will have higher job satisfaction. Challenging and disadvantage of a green human resource management is implying the green rules and the procedure may increase the cost inside the organization, and it might have slow or low or no rate of return because you invest in creating green environment and you might not have return for that or slow return of that. Inadequate saving, marginal impact. You have marginal impact on your processes if you apply the green HRM. It's difficult to measure its impact. So these are the challenges and disadvantage of a green HRM. Okay. So it's your turn now.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Your turn. Glass ceiling syndrome. It's your assignment about glass ceiling syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most easy topic. Glass ceiling, it's basically the obstacles that are imposed for women and minorities from excelling to higher positions. So the glass, it's actually not a real glass, but it's a transparent and a metaphorical glass. So it resembles the obstacles that women and minorities face whenever they want to go up or higher up in the ladder of to higher positions. Yeah.
That's it.
Basically, yeah.
Very few women in executive position. It can be defined as a transparent obstacle to female employees for higher position in the organization. Okay. Employee branding. Employee branding is about employee branding is the process that create an image of company to be great place to work in it. It appears the power of the company and being lasting in customer mind. Consumer building trust about the company product quality with any service and the product and its products. Employer branding play a strong role in market by its reputation, value, and work environment. These features make company attractive place for many employees. These are how you can brand yourself with the company. If you work in prestigious company like working with Google and Facebook and or Twitter or something like that, so you brand yourself with the company. It's the process of making the company or the organization more attractive for the dream for employees to be for the candidate to work in. Main aims of a brand: attracting employees, recruiting a suitable candidate, maintaining employees inside the organization. Important investing in an element of successful branding. Internal benefit of branding. So increase in employee engagement, higher level of trust in the company, lower rate of absence from work, higher level of loyalty, a good relation with current and former employees, decrease in employees fluctuation, increase in talent retention rate, increase in, these are the benefit of a human resource or human resource branding. If you make the organization very good place, social value, you have social value, you have economical value, you have developing value, and you have application value. And the advantage and disadvantage of HRM or HR branding. The advantage is customer confidence due to high qualified employees, competitive advantages through employee retention, sustainable human resource management, employer brands and digital skills. Disadvantage, startups difficulties. So if you are small or startup business, you cannot attract the type of candidate that the big or higher brand companies acquire or attract. Most of the time, the branding of the company goes with some extra cost or additional cost. Weak employer brand of acquiring high qualified employees. So when the companies have weaker brand, so it will have difficulties in acquiring highly qualified employees. This is about the branding. A global staffing, ethnocentric approach, the polycentric approach, the geocentric approach, and they didn't summarize it well, so it's a staffing policy, strategy orientation. So in global staffing, it's about hiring a global staff or someone from outside the organization country. So you have three approach in the global staffing: the ethnocentric, the polycentric, and the geocentric approach. The ethnocentric, regarding the ethnocentric approach, refers to fill key management positions from parent country nationals. It makes sense for firm with international strategies. Reason for pursuing this staffing approach, or I didn't complete the summary actually, but you have a three approach: ethnocentric, polycentric, geocentric. Ethnocentric, overcome lack of qualified managers in host nations. Unified culture, help transfer core competencies. Phones, products, reassessment. Did you read about it, global staffing?
No.
Okay, I think we need to do it better than that. I didn't read it. I just copy paste some notes and that's it.
I didn't read this one. I read the other topics, but this one, no.
Okay.
For glass ceiling, we can add also, we can talk about the factors which lead to this syndrome. Maybe we can mention the family factor, the individual factor. We have also cultural factors or social factor. Yeah, the family, it's because of the role of the woman as the caregiver. She is the one who takes responsibility of the house, the household, the kids. So she has to maintain everything. Everything should be organized. Everything should be taken care of. So maybe because of that, it acts as an obstacle for some women to advance in their career. So they have to leave maybe their career for some time to take care of their kids, let's say. Social factors, it's social and cultural factors. It can be both in one point. So it's basically about the norms and the culture of the society. For example, some societies like the Middle Eastern societies, you know, they're patriarchal, which is the man is, or the male should be the one who he's the one who takes care of the family. He's the one who works. So it's like they persuade the woman from young age that her job is only taking care of her house, doing housework, taking care of children, taking care of her husband, making sure all their needs are met. So that way women grow up believing in this idea, and they accept it. And then we have the individual factor. This is related to the person himself, either being a woman or a minority group, maybe because they don't have much self-confidence, or the way they see themselves, we can call it self-worth, it's low. They don't feel like they have enough qualifications or credentials that makes them qualified to take higher positions or to excel in their career.
Mhm. Okay.
So these are some factors. We can also talk about them.
It is understandable because
Yeah.
it's more related to Mid-Eastern countries.
Yeah, we can see it a lot in Mid-Eastern cultures.
Okay, this is for a human resource management. We conclude.
Can we today stop here and today maybe finish strategic management, because at 9 o'clock I want to join the session that Tuba Hoja is hosting today. It's about the resource-based view.
Okay, but for tomorrow we need to finish
strategic management
and organizational culture.
How many? What did we cover so far? HR, organizational behavior,
theory of management,
theory,
leadership.
So we have
strategic management,
organizational culture,
and organizational culture. Research methodology. I don't think they will ask about it in the written exam. So
I'm not sure.
So they will.
So we have two less strategic, because strategic management is also very detailed. So it's gonna take us like 2 hours, you know, or at least 1 hour and a half. So tomorrow we can focus on strategic management, and then because you also know that in strategic management, for the topics that she gave us as an assignment, we have other like other pioneers, other theorists, and some other theories, you know, so we have also to talk about these gurus.
So for strategic management, we have 11 chapter, and we have the management gurus.
Yes. So it's gonna take us at least like 1 hour and a half, 2 hours to finish it. That's if we finish it tomorrow.
Yes, but I think regarding strategic management, there's too many topics that's not that important. Maybe we can highlight the important topics only and go through it.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we can we still have time, like tomorrow and after tomorrow. After tomorrow, we can focus on organizational culture on Thursday, if you're free.
Of course, I'm free. I took a week as a free time. I didn't work.
That's it.
During this work.
So we can do that, because
but in organizational culture, I think this one is different.
Organizational culture, mostly I studied from the change management course. She gave us a book, Chidam Hoja. It was also talking about stuff related to organizational culture. That's what I took some notes from.
I summarize it from the notes you give to me, from who make the notes, the student who make these notes.
Can you open the theories of organizational culture? I just want to see what's included.
Here's the organizational culture here.
Okay, Hofstede, globe, thin, myths, culture, subculture, organizational culture, stories, Quinn, industry determinant, rule. Harrison, Handy's model, culture. Okay, so basically I would say 1, 2, 3.
I think the important is
And
the one who highlighted in red.
so-
one, two,
yeah,
three,
exactly.
four, five.
And number two is also could be important, the globe.
The globe is an extension for Hofstade 6 dimension.
Yes, it's related.
Mhm.
So these are the important things, in my opinion.
So I don't think organization culture will take a long time if we review it.
Mhm.
Okay, we can make organization culture and research methodology. We can review it together.
On Sunday, yes.
So
On
tomorrow,
Thursday, we can
tomorrow for strategic management, and the
strategic
day after
management
tomorrow for organizational culture and research methodology.
research. Yes.
Okay.
So this way we'll be done with everything. We have covered everything. Ah, by the way, I think Nuria, she sent us a list of questions from previous years.
Yes, yes, more than 200
Do you
questions.
have did you take notes?
I take some notes for some questions. We can
I
review.
have prepared. If you want, I will send you now so you can compare.
You
In an easy way, just I don't go in, I didn't go too much into details. In an easy way, for example, what is organizational cynicism, for example, and what are the dimensions? So I defined it, and I mentioned the dimensions with a very brief explanation. Let me send it to you now, so maybe you can go through it whenever you want. Okay, I sent it to you.
yeah. Okay, thanks, Nicholas. All the question?
The things that are new.
Because there's some question with
Like, for
some,
example, there are some questions asking about.
yes,
For example, there are some questions talking about, let's say, strategic planning stages or layers. I didn't answer these things because we're going to cover it in strategic management.
mhm.
So things that are new, I have covered them.
Sure. Answers all the questions. Here's the questions.
For example, what is lean organization? And what are the characteristics of a lean organization?
Mhm. Some questions
Emotional
about what is core ability?
What?
Core ability.
No, I didn't answer this one.
And what are the Weber bureaucracy core competency dimension?
Say it again.
What are the Weber bureaucracy core competency dimension? We didn't, I don't know.
No,
Mhm.
I didn't answer this
Another
question.
question, what is the mandate approach?
I don't have these questions.
It's more than, I think I got this question from another source. And here's from starting from this one up to 150, I think. These are the questions sent by Nuri in Turkish and then translated to English. Then these are the questions. 152 question, and the seminar research methodology question that Nergul Hoja told us about it. Question about the research methodology. So we can make a session to quickly review these questions. Some questions are very simple, very straightforward. You just need to mention you need to practice how to mention the triggering word, the most important word, just do some 5 or 6 words for each question that help you remember everything about it. So we can make it as a practice, or also good for practicing for the interview exam. You just throw that question and try to answer it in a quick way. So I think if we cover the lectures and then we summarize it with these questions, we collect everything, all the aspect of the exam.
Yeah. Can you send me this because I don't have the ones you highlighted in red. I don't have them.
Okay, I will send it to you. Mhm. Did you receive it?
Yes. في هذا الفيديو كمان بعثت لي إياه أكين.
You can see this video about research methodology.
About paradigm, epistemology, and
Immersing oneself in the terminology associated with the underpinnings of research.
Good. Do you have a definition for paradigm? It's a simple one to remember. I always forget about.
I'm really not sure what we have to talk about. Positivism and post-positivism. What else we have to talk? Because there are different paradigms.
Mhm.
And I really don't want to go into more details because it gets confusing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like seriously, why do I need to know what is epistemology and ontology? How will I benefit from knowing these things in my exam or
Because
in doing my research?
these are the most difficult topic. So
Mm.
if they want to ask about something, they want to use to select the most difficult topic of this. So regarding the research methodology, we have the research onion, the research process,
Onion? What's a research onion?
research onion.
Haven't heard of
It's,
it.
you didn't take the research methodology with the Ufuk.
No.
So here are you are going from top outer level to the inner level. You start with the philosophies, positivism, realism, interpretivism, pragmatism, and then you go for the approach, the deductive or inductive approach.
Mhm.
And then you select the strategy. After you select the philosophy and the approach, you select the strategy, whether to go for experiment, survey, case study, action research, grounded theory, ethnography, archival research. Then you select or choices about mono method, mixed method, or multi-method.
Mhm.
So after that, you need to select the time horizon, whether it's cross-sectional or longitudinal. Then you need to go for the techniques and the procedures of collecting the data collection and data analysis. So from broader context to the narrow, starting from the philosophy up to the data collection and analysis.
Mm.
Uh,
So maybe that's the evolution of research, how it evolved.
It's the onion is proposed by Sanders. I think he's the one of the famous one regarding research methodology and processes. And you have the research process,
Mhm.
research topics. You started from research philosophy, approach to theory development, whether you have exploratory, descriptive, explanatory, the
Mhm.
definition of the theory, and the building block of the theory, characteristics of a good theory.
Mhm.
Go for the methodological choice, whether to choose qualitative or quantitative choices. The research methodology, whether it's inductive, deductive, abductive, and the research strategy, experiment, survey, case study, action research, grounded theory, archival research, about the sample selection,
Mhm.
about the time horizon, whether you need long study a phenomena for long time or just for the time bounded time, techniques and the procedures for the data collection and data analysis, whether to go for qualitative or quantitative, and data collection, whether for questionnaire, interview, structure, unstructured, semi-structure. Research validity, internal validity, external, construct, phase, content, criterion, statistical conclusion, and research reliability, what's the reliability of the research, test rate, retest, inter-rater, parallel forms, internal consistency, reviewing the literature and referencing. I think you are most of the time you
Basically,
ask
the process of research.
the process over the research and the research philosophy. In the
Mhm.
research philosophy, you have the ontology, epistemology, axiology, and type of the philosophies, whether positivism, realism, critical realism, interpretivism, postmodernism, and the paradigm. It's the way of examining social phenomena from which particular understanding can begin and explanation attempt. It is the definition of paradigm, but you cannot remember such a definition. You need to do it in a very more easy way. And the construct and the proposition, what the definition of construct, what the definition of proposition. You, these are the type of question uh, you might be asked for.
Mhm. Okay.
So I don't think it would be in the written exam, but it's good to review it just in case.
Yeah.
So for tomorrow, we have strategic management, and the day after tomorrow, organizational culture and
Research methodology.
research methodology.
Mhm.
Okay, till tomorrow. Have a nice
Okay.
evening.
Thank you for today, and we'll see you tomorrow. I mean.
Inshallah. You are very frustrated now.
I'm very sleepy. I wake up because I wake up early and I don't sleep during the day. So that's why when it's night, you see me going offline.
Offline. Okay.
No energy left. I'm not a night person. For me, I don't like studying after 6.
After 6. Oh,
After 6, I don't like studying.
I start studying after 8.
Oh, no, that's totally not me. I can't. I can't process anything when it's dark.
Especially in the winter season.
Yes, and with this rainy weather, it's just
So,
depressing for me. So I prefer studying early in the morning.
but you will attend the 9 o'clock session with Toba Hoja.
Yeah, I don't like studying like I have to study, not listening to something. Yeah.
Okay.
Studying, memorizing, learning things, taking notes.
Well, difficult at the night.
Yeah.
Okay. See you tomorrow then.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Goodbye.